Well, where it all started was with sprocketed plastic film. The film image is going to have to get moved to the next frame.
Pulled down.
Physically pulled down. So the shutter has to close while it's being moved.
Yeah.
So that kind of evolved into roughly 180-degree shutter. A little bit adjustable, but most cameras throughout the history of movies have been 180-degree open, 180-degree closed. That's like the standard.
Right.
The problem arose when the Lumiere brothers invented the double-bladed projector shutter. So, movies used to be called the flickers because they flickered badly at 24 frames. And Lumiere brothers discovered that if you put a double-bladed, I think it was them, a double-bladed shutter and showed each frame twice, it got rid of the flicker. Mm-hmm. But that was the beginning of the destruction of continuity of motion. So, in fact, every movie you've ever seen is starting and stopping 24 times a second. It's there once, it's there again, and then it goes somewhere else, and it's there again. So it's like, go. And you get this discontinuity of motion. It's been with us ever since.
It's kind of like a waltz. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And
something
1,
like
2,
that.
3.
That's gracefully a nice way to call it.
Yeah.
But that everybody got used to that, so that's what we've all seen. And so people haven't questioned it for an awfully long time.
Yeah.
When I did Showscan, the trick of the Showscan process was, it was easy to shoot 60 frames instead of 24. You just turn the camera, you have a high-speed camera, you turn it up. Still 180-degree shutter. But in the projector, we put a second pin on the Geneva mechanism. So it pulled down on every shutter closure.
Ah.
This was the simple magic of Showscan.
So this is where you reintroduce the temporal continuity.
Yes, so you got one flash in the camera and one flash in the projector.
Yeah. And because it was going faster, you didn't flicker.
Right, no flicker at 60.
Yeah.
So it was an elegantly simple process, easy to do in the projector because a double pin was something that Simplex or Century projectors could fabricate for me. Mm-hmm. And so if you would get to 48 frames a second with absolutely no increase in speed of the film. If you understand what I'm saying. It's pulling the film down twice as often, but the velocity of the pull down is identical.
Yes.
To get to 48.
Exactly.
Then
it's instead of a 1, 2, 1, 2, it's a 1, 1, 1.
Yeah. So it didn't stress the film.
Yeah.
Then you're only speeding it up 25% to get to 60. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a big physical stressor on the film.
Right.
And so it was elegantly simple. You could do it with regular Geneva projectors. It was not a heavy conversion cost. Mm-hmm. And we got patents on it, and so it had its heyday. It was really beautiful. I was very proud of it. It was quite extraordinary. But in the context of the industry at large, IMAX really had the giant screen business sewed up and dominated. And that was that. I just couldn't get traction. I couldn't get people to change, even though I felt that Showscan was superior to IMAX.
Yeah, and plus, you are talking to producers about doubling the film cost, and
well, it came out to be about the same as IMAX,
okay,
which was triple the cost.
Okay.
We were 2.5 times the cost. They were triple the cost.
Yeah.
Because it was the 15 perf 70 process. So instead of 10 minutes in a film magazine, you get 3.
And I remember that seeing Showscan, I kind of went, "Wow, this looks incredible." It's hard to say exactly what's incredible about it. Obviously, we're changing our perception of time. Yeah.
The thing that I found shocking was that Showscan was there. I got a lot of press. Yeah. We made quite a large number of movies and expos and things. Yeah. So even though we never made a feature film that way, it was very present in the industry.
Yeah, people saw it. Everybody
we took it public. We raised money. We did, and so subsequently, I was shocked that there was just basically no institutional memory at all in our industry to carry that forward and for people to remember, Showscan was great. How do we do that or do it better?
Yeah.
It's just that people forgot. That was, disconcerting to me, that institutional memory, I'm talking about our industry remembering its past, is very fleeting.
I think one of our jobs is to make sure that we keep these traditions and the cinematic, the good parts alive.
Well, they're alive because they're ideas, they're concepts that have relevance to our new digital age. And so Showscan is extremely relevant to what I'm doing right now.
Right.
It was one of my stepping stones.
So can you describe that process again?
Okay, here's the idea. You can almost any digital cinematography camera today can go 60 frames. It's extremely common on a Red, Ariel, XL, whatever. Yeah. And so it's just a dial. You just set it.
Yeah.
And we use a 180-degree shutter in the traditional way. But on a stereo rig, you have 2 cameras that are traditionally running in sync. Both those frames are shot simultaneously on every stereo rig in the world.
Right.
Those frames are shot simultaneously. The problem is that they're not going to be projected simultaneously. They're going to be projected sequentially as the projector goes left eye, right eye for a single projector. 80, 90, maybe almost 100% of the 3D theaters are single projector theaters. So that's the way the movie is going to be displayed. So I thought, well, if we simply shot a movie exactly the same way it's going to be projected, then the temporal continuity would be true to itself. So we shoot the left eye first, the right eye second, 180 degrees out of phase. So A, you've captured 100% of what occurred in front of the camera. B, it's going to be projected in exactly that same sequence by the projector, as long as you keep track of it. And what results is that your nervous system, your brain, your visual cortex puts it together in the most comfortable way. Your brain is not struggling with this cadence that's out of frequency, on-off thing. It's completely smooth, and so your brain starts accepting it as real. This is the big breakthrough.
Yeah.
That it suddenly starts looking uncannily real because there's no movie artifacts to it at all. So we take that, we blend it with a larger screen, higher brightness, but we also degrain it completely. We do digital processes to take any grain or noise out. Okay. We don't want any film texture at all.
You want a window.
We want a window that's as sharp as a tack. And so 4K is, at the moment, the most convenient way to go because 4K cameras are not hard to find either. They can be a little bit noisy, and we try to correct for that. It's not really 4K resolution because it's a Bayer filter, but it's still pretty good. And I found out that even a relatively, I would say, a prosumer level camera, which is the Canon C500, looks fantastic using this process. You don't have to have a really exotic $100,000 camera to do this. It's really very easy.